Good morning, Tim. Much improved performance today on yesterday. Narrow defeat against Switzerland. How are things going?
Well, compared to yesterday, I mean it was like a different team, and so much happier about the performance today. Yesterday we got beaten up, and I'm not going to go into too many details, but it was horrendous, some of the stuff that happened yesterday. But we've got to be man enough to step in and deal with that. As a good friend of mine says, you've got to have a bit of dog in you sometimes when you play this sort of team, and we didn't have that yesterday. But today the performance was so much better. Really pleased with the performance. We went 2 up, and as with a lot of young players, our game management wasn't good enough at that point. I can't just blame the players. As a coach, that's my job to step in and make sure that we manage the game from that situation, and I don't think we did that very well. We should have won that game from that position. I take a lot of the blame for that myself. But there you go. We've got to improve. We've improved today. We want to improve again tomorrow. I think the biggest thing for this tournament is, and this might sound an excuse, and I don't want it to be, the other teams here have prepared for this tournament. This is our preparation for the university games. So, we're perhaps a couple of games behind some of these teams. We must bear that in mind as we go forward, but, obviously not an excuse. Should have won that game today. The game management will get better next time.
Well, there's a lot of games left in this tournament still for you. You've got another game tonight against Austria.
Yep.
So there'll be a lot more competitive polo. You're still experimenting with some of the tactics, I would say, from watching.
Yep.
You still got a lot more experimentation to do, or are you trying to now finalise for Naples?
Well, this is the stuff we're doing. Probably some of it might not be appropriate for some of these teams. What we're thinking of is how we develop attacking situations against Hungary and Russia and teams like that. So, if we're not careful at the university games, we'll be playing the game on halfway. We're developing our tactics to try to give us something in attack. We've got a lot of stuff we have worked on. We haven't tried anything that we haven't trained with. But this stuff is what we're practicing for the university games. It's still not a reason why we didn't win that game. We should have won today.
Yeah, I mean, the gameplay itself looked better from a spectator point of view, and there certainly seemed to be more team ethics involved in it, a lot more team play that was working. It was clicking together, which yesterday wasn't evident that it was working.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll be looking forward to another 4 or 5 games now of playing in preparation. There are tactics you want to choose and you want to try out, I presume, still. How do you think the rest of the tournament's going to go for you? Now, what are you going to work on?
Well, firstly, I'll go back to yesterday's game, because we did start with no centre forward, no centre back, sort of players who would normally play in those positions, and we scored 5 goals in that period of time. So, those tactics worked, but in defence we were shocking, so that didn't work. I've reviewed the video from that game yesterday. I think we should have been 5-1 up at the end of the first period. If their goals were from our mistakes, we made our goals, and that's the difference. They didn't make errors to give us easy goals. We made a lot of errors to give them easy goals. Back to a bit more balance today, a bit more traditional sort of shape, and that worked in our defence pretty well for most of the game. So we're knocking it about a bit, and we don't want anyone to we don't want to be predictable to the other teams. There's stuff that we're going to try later on in the tournament, just knocking things about. We don't want teams to be able to look at us and know what we're going to do. We need to change things every game. That's what tournament play is about. So we come a little bit unexpected each time, and we're going to keep doing that.
I think it's also worth considering that the oldest player in your squad is probably 22, and you're playing against teams here that are very experienced and a lot more mature, both in age and physicality. A lot of these players have come through for the under-19 squad that did so well last time, and your junior squad that went into seniors from the 97 age group. And the team is coming together still. It is still a work in progress, isn't it? And that's, I presume, how you would like to judge this. It's what you're doing for a bigger picture,
Yeah.
not just for this event itself today, and not for Naples either.
Yeah. I don't want to make excuses, right? We should have won today, okay? Everything you just said there is quite true. I don't think we should ever lose sight of the talent we have at a young age group, right? This is a talented bunch of players, and you know, Dave and I are looking at the players younger than this as well. We have a talented crew of young players. We've just got to have the ability to take them on and on and on. And we can't just keep going back to the next set of young players, because we'll never develop as a senior team if we do that. So, you know, this is a group of players. I'd stake my reputation on if we had the right programme for them, this team could be at the Olympic qualifiers in the next cycle. Well, they could, but we need to we need to develop in the correct way.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thanks for the honesty of the interview as well, and good luck tonight in the match against Austria.
Thank you.